Failure to gain 3 points tomorrow? My guys, say goodbye to Champions League hopes. It's over, finito. It's done. The sad thing is, at this stage of the season, we all had these expectations that this would be the stage we started to see stronger developments and understandings of the system and the players acting within that. So to see the opposite, to see regression during the crucial stage of this season, this is terrible. And this is where the fan base is left with this feeling that things are starting to spiral out of control yet again for consecutive seasons. And if this happens for the third season in a row, this is the time where serious action must get undertaken, because whatever Clear Lake tell you, this was not part of their game plan. This was not part of the plan. Right now, we find ourselves sixth in the table. We've lost our top 5 position we've maintained throughout the entirety of this season. And it comes at the worst time when rivals around us now are finding more consistency in their form. We're still 3 points behind at Nottingham Forest. Man City have cracked top 5. They could maintain that with how their season is set to end. Newcastle on an unreal run of form. Isak, in my opinion, player of the season by far. And you're looking at teams behind you like Aston Villa on the same points as us. After they came so close to mounting a famous comeback win against one of the best teams in Europe right now in Paris Saint-Germain, they're going to have unreal confidence coming back to the league. They want to be back in this sale. They want to recreate these moments again. And they're going to be incredibly dangerous. And at the moment, we seem to be on the outside of all of them, finding terrible form at the worst crucial stage of this season. Now, my friends, I really recommend you guys watch yesterday's match review, where I really pinpoint the main issues behind everything wrong with Maresca and how we've been sussed out and found out as a team at the moment. So I suggest you guys watch that to get the full picture. But at the moment, man, we take on Fulham on Sunday. Historically, it's a stadium we go to, and it's a calm, easy 3-point meal. We've only lost like one game against them at home. That came in 2023. But Fulham traditionally have kind of been our little bro. But at the moment, we're the big bro who's kind of out of control, kind of lost our place. Our younger bros looking at us thinking, I feel like I could take this guy on. I'm not really respecting the seniority right now. This is something we know that we can get if we perform well, do what we have to do, and this is the worry, because they've already beaten us at home this season. So my guys, for the sake of this preview, I'm doing things a bit differently. I'm going to be starting off by discussing the predicted lineup, because I've got some important things to say about what I want to see. For the second half, we discuss and unpack Maresca's big press conference today. I got another big news video coming out. We got some big stories to discuss. Have those notification buttons on, my guys. And you know what I would really love? Maybe get a few more likes. I feel like I get a lot of consistent viewership. Maybe I'm not doing enough to get the likes, but it actually does really help. So show us some love, you guys. Anyway, enough of that. Let's get straight into things. My friends, it really is that simple. Tomorrow, no more inverted fullbacks. No more inverted fullbacks tomorrow. Outside of Liverpool and maybe moments against Newcastle, no more inverted fullbacks. Please, for the love of everything beautiful with our lords. I just want us to spring a tactical surprise against the opposition, because when you're seeing 5th place Polish teams sussing you out and beating you in your own home stadium, yeah, that is the wake-up call that things can spiral right now and confidence is low, and we are not a team that has enough legs to make things happen, which is not good enough, because last season we was complaining about the lack of control on this team because they could create chances and score for days. We have to tap into that youthful fearlessness a little bit right now. Maresca, you're the Takatico. Help us get the lead, control how we end the game. This is the only balance us as a fan base have wanted to see our entire lives. Yeah, our entire lives. Just because you start with chaos, don't end on it. End on control and vice versa. Maresca, fullbacks who overlap is key. No more inverted stuff, because we look like a team that has 3 ideas max, and once those avenues are blocked out, we're nothing. And this is why everyone is on scoreless streaks like you would never foresee or never ever imagine, yeah? I think Maresca make arguments like, oh, obviously, guys, I need more time. You know, obviously, this isn't my full ideas. Give me another season, I can make it happen. But Maresca, Enzo, do not put your philosophy at the expense of our objective this season, which is Champions League. It's not out of your hands just yet. We can still end things miraculously, winning the Conference League and bagging a CL spot. But we aren't going to get there if you're going to be a slave to this philosophy, which is already starting to show us some cracks, especially when we've shown that we've beaten these types of teams before without being caged by this philosophy that you're caging the team with right now. We need some of the guys to shine a bit, find their mojo, and find themselves again with their games, give this team a chance, and do the management stuff from the sidelines. So my friends, you'll see my lineup on screen straight, yeah? Up front, Nicholas Jackson, because who else? Supporting him and working the right-hand side. Jadon Sancho left-hand side. The midfield three, I'm going for a classic midfield three. Caicedo holding. Enzo, Cole Palmer, I'll talk about that. And defense of Cucurella, top goal scorer, Coral Jalaba, Malo Gusto, Robert Sanchez. Back to front, explaining the lineup. Sanchez, what do you want to say about this guy? Moving on to the defense. Gusto clearly plays because Reece James, as Maresca said, he can't be playing 3 games a week. And listen, I'd rather see this guy on the bench than on the sideline. I'll take that. At least Gusto, if you use this guy properly as an overlapping fullback, he was one of the best fullbacks last season. In his first debut season as a 20-year-old, yeah? That talent hasn't just gone away. Utilize it. Utilize it. Use it in the team. Him and Cucurella doing the same thing. Great that Cucurella has the confidence to get into the box when he has to, tapping into that Alonso spirit. But that should not be the way that we look to break teams down in the predominant manner. No, 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 no. Support the attacking guys that you're wasting millions on every single year. They should be the ones shepherding us to new glory. Defense speaks for itself. Jalaba, Coral, balance, pace. Most importantly, pace and maintain a high defensive line, because boy, we are going to need that. And we're going to need a pacey back line against Fulham's counter-attacking threat, which you've already seen at the start of the season. Midfield, man, this is where I've got my ideas. Moises Caicedo, this guy is even smarter than we even give him credit for, because we know this guy is a very smart player. One of maybe the midest games this season against Ipswich was a tactical one and a choice, because he's trying to avoid that yellow card suspension. Like he just knows how to wane it in every single time. And this is what I rate about this guy. Player of the season by far. But yeah, big positive this season. The only issue though is that I feel like Moises will have to put in some legs. If we're going to be using a midfield of Palmer and Enzo, in my opinion, I'm starting with this midfield, because this midfield won't be ending a 90-minute game. Lavia will make his appearance. When he comes on, we have more assurance. There's a partner in crime for Caicedo. Naturally, either one of Palmer and Enzo will come off at that time, maybe Cole Palmer. And this is the start of the evolution I want to see, where you're feeling the pressure right now and you're reacting to that. Did we not see Poch do the same thing last season after that disgraceful thrashing against Arsenal? 3-4-2-1 stuff he was low-key working on with the inverted stuff this whole time. He was like, I just have to use it right now because I'm under pressure. And then we won 5 games on the bounce. This has to be your moment now, Maresca. And you have to do the opposite of what Pochettino had to do last season. Let's keep it real. But the reason why I want to see this midfield 3 is simply because of Cole Palmer. Cole Palmer, I want to see him connecting again and being more than just a finisher in the team. Yeah? Being more than just the 1 or 2 things he's allowed to do per game. When Palmer was at his best last season, he encapsulated the best parts of our whole game. He was involved in the build-up. He was involved in facilitating the next moves, facilitating assists for his teammates, switches of play to speed up attacks, 1-2 combinations. Also, making those late arrivals in the books and having shooting presence. He was all those things, and it feels like Maresca taps into half a Palmer on a per game basis. And I think is this the little thing that's affecting his confidence a bit? It could be potentially, but it's not enough, man. It really isn't enough. And one of the things that I think we've really not seen enough of this season, which is a big negative against Maresca, is the lack of player chemistry and understanding. They just follow the script of the system. But when it comes to problem-solving solutions, like last season, we saw like every game was like, must have been like 3 to 4 back heel 1-2s that you would see play time and time again. When do you ever see that anymore? Where do those possibilities, conditions open up? They don't exist at this rate, yeah. And a lot of that is because it feels like Palmer is just kind of stifled a bit, which really frustrates me, I have to say. I want to see him cooking alongside Noni Madueke, yeah. It shouldn't just be Nico and Palmer, the main scoring outlets, and no one else. Facilitate them. You're also being a leader, but you can make your teammates around you look better. And this is the great stuff Palmer was doing last season that has kind of been taken away from him even more, especially in 2025. So right inside, I want to see Gusto. I want to see Palmer. I want to see Madueke move into Robinson, Iwobi, and whoever's playing down that left-hand side for Fulham. This is the bravery that we need to play with, yeah? This is how we can open teams up. And I guarantee Fulham will not be prepared for a team that has an overlapping presence and 2 players in a Palmer and Madueke who know how to take turns going inside out, holding width, and vice versa. This is the problem solving that helps you win games, because you can't just system and tactics your way to glory. The players make the difference on the field. And this has been the main thing that we've been missing in our football in 2025. That's my impassioned speech. But to end with this lineup, my guys, Enzo Fernandez, he's well rested. And you know what, Enzo, obviously he's the liability here in the sense that, he can just spin this guy because, Gallagher would get criticized for this, which baffles me. But Enzo is even he's like the bad version of the silly criticisms Gallagher would get of just being a magnet to the ball and just allowing opposition teams to just use that against you, because you'll get slipped by and space opens up in midfield. So I need to see a more disciplined game where I wouldn't even mind if at times Enzo is a little bit deeper, if that means Kuku can get a bit higher up the field. I can support something like that in my opinion. Up front, easily right inside, and hopefully another Prem goal. We need more than just Palmer and Nico Jackson right now. We need the rest of these guys. Great thing on the left-hand side that Jadon Sancho is getting consecutive assists now in separate games and having goal and assist contributions and moments. That's a big plus. And hopefully we can start to create opportunities outside of Nicholas Jackson's scoring, because I love Nico. The injuries ain't helped, whatever, but I just don't have the confidence to rely upon him being our talisman, where he's going to be bagging goals in for fun before the season ends. I don't have that confidence. This is my predicted lineup, my friends. Share your thoughts and opinions below. What do you want to see? Let us know below. And because I spent so much time with the predicted lineup, I'm going to speed through the presser. Now, of course, big news is Romeo Lavia returns. He's available on Sunday. Maresca says that he will manage him in the same way he's been managing Reece James, and he will be taking part in the game realistically off the bench, which is a big thing because, in my opinion, if Enzo could have had one player this whole season, it would have been Lavia, because I think, in my opinion, we'd have maybe 3-4 more points just by having the midfield player of his ability. Build-up play, partner in crime for Moises Caicedo, ability to break the play. He's a very good player, this kid, and he would have been a big help for this team. Outside of that, conversations moved on towards Cole Palmer and his lack of form, not scoring in the last 14, 15 games. The drop-off between him and Cole Palmer, him and Nico Jackson, and it's this bad between your main guys for goals here. For me, this actually reveals more about the system they're playing in compared to their form at times, even though Palmer, out of every player, has had the best opportunities to bag a goal, and his finishing has completely been off, which is very unusual for a player of his standards. Of course, Maresca doesn't want to kill this guy's confidence completely, and mention the fact that, maybe teams are approaching Cole Palmer differently, which is obvious. We all know that. But as I was saying in my predicted lineup part, and I'll kind of continue on this part now, is Enzo doing enough? Because in my opinion, I feel like we were seeing a full-fat Cole Palmer last season, and now we're just getting a low-fat version of Cole Palmer, where you think you're getting the same stuff, but nowhere near enough strength behind it. And this is the issue right now. I want to see a full-fat Cole Palmer back on that field right now, yeah, bro. It really is that simple. Let him facilitate. Let him be more than just the finisher or the guy that has to receive line breakers and then take on 2-3 guys and then get tackled. No. That is not optimum enough for a player of his quality. Let him be more embedded in the membrane of this team. That's what I want to see in Cole Palmer. And I guarantee things get a bit better, yeah? And obviously to end things, Maresca was keeping it honest because what do you have to lose right now? At the moment, he might not be here next season if things flop right. But there was a few things he was honest about. Obviously, he basically said if Nico Jackson and Cole Palmer don't start scoring goals, then yeah, we have no hope this season, which is a big thing to admit, but it's the truth. Make that happen. Do something about that, Maresca. He admitted that maybe rest for either one of Palmer or Nico could have helped. In Nico's case, yes, I learned my lesson. You need two strikers. I love to learn every season. Calm. For Cole Palmer, though, there were solutions for days. Chukwuemeka, even Felix at one point, regardless of what you're feeling about them. Christo and Nkunku. But you've ruined Nkunku's confidence by just mismanaging him and using him outside his best position. And when he was still remaining here, even though he wanted to go to Bayern and got priced out a move in January, it's just insane to me that he's never once in 2025 played that Palmer backup role this whole season, which is, I mean, what do you, it's mad when you think about we signed him for that very own reason. So my friends, quick prediction, I'm going to be going for, I mean, just pure hope. It's pure hope, and I don't even believe it. 2-1 win, just for vibes. Just so I'm not jinxing my team. That's the only logic behind it. Because if you want me to use logic, yeah, my logic is we get nothing against Fulham. I want to use my platform for good luck because I'm just a stupid, superstitious guy, and that's all I got for you. So my friends, that's the preview out the way. Share your thoughts and opinions, and I'll catch you guys today with another video. Cool.